going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Hello, neighbors. I'm Janet Alexander, and I'm running for Lawrence County School Board to represent the 7th District. With 40 years in early and elementary education, you could say I've worn many hats. Preschool director and owner, educator, student, administrator, principal, and mentor, we'll just name a few. I've had the pleasure of leading the love of learning with thousands of Lawrence County students through my time as a teacher. After retirement in 2017, I stepped full-time into my role of being Marmee to my 5 grandboys. And although my role as a teacher has changed, my commitment to the importance of education is now more prevalent than ever. Our teachers and students are a precious commodity to our future, and they deserve an advocate. And I would be honored to stand beside you as we ensure that we'll put our students first this March the 5th on Election Day.
This is Jason at Volco Auto Supply in Lawrenceburg. For over 90 years, Volco has been a family-owned company. We're proud of our past and excited about our future. We're open to the public for wholesale and retail trade. We carry product lines such as Milwaukee Tools, Lucas Oil, and Malco product. We carry all major brands of lubricants like Shell Rotella, Haviland, Castrol GTX, Mystic, Motorcraft, Valvoline, Kindle, and Mobile. We here at Volco offer a complete line of car detailing supplies, shop supplies, tire repair products, and lawnmower supplies. Check us out online at VolcoAutosupply.com or at 416 Buffalo Road here in Lawrenceburg.
Truett's Garage Doors in Leoma, Tennessee is your one-stop for new garage door installations for all commercial and residential buildings, plus they offer full service on all existing doors. Need a new garage door opener? Truett's Garage Doors has you covered. As an AMAR Gold and LiftMaster dealer, Truett's Garage Doors offers the best pricing anywhere in the area. A family-owned and operated business, Truett's Garage Doors has been helping Tennessee and Alabama residents since 1999. Call the pros today at Truett's Garage Doors, 931-201-6464.
Hayden Burks goes the distance for local sports on the X Sports Network.
And welcome everybody to the Hayden Burks Show here on the X Sports Network. My name is Hayden Burks. Michael's not able to join us. He's actually traveling back home from Knoxville. He'll be calling the Loretta game. But hey, I got the talent instead. Clint Brazier has arrived.
That's
Clint,
right.
glad for you to be here.
Thank you for the invite. Hard for me to get away on a Friday, but you got lucky and caught me while I was out getting lunch, and I can join you for a little bit anyways.
Hey, that works. Well, hey, we'll start off with what you know of. Summertown, obviously, Summertown girls came away with a win. Boys came hard-fought battle, lost to Mount Pleasant, but a very good Mount Pleasant team. And obviously, it's the end of the regular season now. Obviously, getting ready for district, and I don't know who the boys are going to play yet. We've tried to look at scenarios, but we don't know. But
well,
just obviously,
it's girls. You know, we had talked, and this any Lewis County or Mount Pleasant viewers that we have, this is no slight towards your girls' teams. There does have to be a coin flip between Summertown and Loretta girls. I don't think any. That's just for seeding.
I think we could both see both those
neither
teams.
one of those teams are worried about not playing each other in the district championship. Boys' side, a little different.
Yeah, real different.
You know, you've got a Lewis County team that is very athletic and very young, going to be fun to watch in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
But Summertown for sure is the 3 seed.
Yep.
And so here's where they're looking at. Summertown right now is trying to figure out who they want to lose the coin toss.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finish 2. And your options are going to be Mount Pleasant, who's really took it to you the last 2 times you played, or Loretta, who took it to you at Loretta, but you played them real close at home.
Yep.
But you also would have to do it against Loretta at Loretta.
Absolutely.
So you're kind of in a tough spot if you're Summertown boys. You could be in a tough spot if you're because you're guaranteeing you with that first win, you're guaranteeing you a home region game. And so if I'm Mount Pleasant or Loretta and I have to beat Summertown boys for the third straight time. That's a tough first game because there is a lot riding on that.
Yep, there is, absolutely, with that. And, I mean, like you said, this is the favorite part of the year for me when it comes to high school. District seeding, figure out who's going to play each other, who gets hot at the right time. And, obviously, Kevin and I were at the game where Loretta and Mount Pleasant played the other night. And, I mean, Mount Pleasant, they absolutely, they handed it to Loretta at that time.
Summertown last night kept it to around 6, 7, 8 for 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, Grayson goes down, hurts his elbow a little bit, comes out, and by the time I think Coach might have been thinking about putting him back in, we were down 22.
Yeah, it was already too late.
And I think Coach probably wisely said, "No, we're not putting our best player out there in this and
Risking
stuff."
it,
And it's probably a wise decision because even if Summertown had won that game, they're still 3.
Gonna be the 3. Yeah, they're seeding, and that's what Wes when he
After
came.
Mount Pleasant beat Loretta 2 days before,
It was already determined.
Yeah. So, what were you doing it for anyways, other than to get a moral victory maybe? But Summertown boys, they dealt a big blow. I talked to Coach Long last night. Kurt Burleson, if Grayson's 1A, then Kurt's 1B, or vice versa. And if he does get him back, he says it won't be at least until the region tournament. And he said he'd be shocked if he gets him back at all. He has torn 2 ligaments in that right ankle, and that's just, that's an injury it's hard to get over. It's a real hard injury to get over for basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's tough with Summertown, obviously with injuries. They're still young. They are a good young team. And, I mean, hey, you never know. Once they hit some shots, it's hard to beat them. Absolutely. So, taking a look at the Loretta side, though, I mean, obviously the girls, I couldn't believe it when I saw the text that the girls lost to Richland. I don't know if you watched that game, Clint. But
well, we were keeping up with it. And just Will had me a monitor set up where I could just kind of, and I kept thinking I would look and say, all right, Loretta's making a run, they're about to take it over. And then I'd look back again, and Richland pulled back out to an 8 to 10 point lead.
Yep, absolutely.
But Richland's got a good squad.
Yeah,
Chad Hall's got a good bunch. I think they've only lost 5 games this year, and I think one was to Loretta, and I know 2 were to Wayne County. So 3 out of those 5 losses were against top teams in the state.
Legit teams, yeah.
So. And at Richland, I don't care who anybody says. All 3 of my kids have played there, and it's the worst gym that we've ever shot in.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a hard place to play in. Yeah, so I mean, it's hard playing that gym, I think. And of course, then again, they're already, like you said, it really doesn't matter one or 2 seed. It doesn't really matter. I think they'll probably more than likely be the 1 seed for the girls' side. But then again, it's the end of the regular season. You want to end on a high note, and I mean, you don't. I mean, that might be the wake-up call.
I know Ashley Rutledge enough, and she is a good enough coach. Her and Kelly, they'll use that loss going into this district tournament.
Yeah.
I'd kind of, as a Summertown dad and fan, I'd kind of wish they'd just went and blowed Richland out going into.
Yeah, make you feel better about it, because I mean, yeah, I mean, Loretta. Those are one of those teams where, when y'all beat them at y'all's place. I mean, the next game they absolutely obliterated whoever they played. I think it was Lewis County they played next, and then obviously with Richland, their Loretta girls they're going to see Mount Pleasant more than likely in the first round of the district. So I mean, we'll see with that, and then we'll flip over to Lawrence County now, as both the Lady Cats and the Wildcats fell in those, and we'll start with Lady Cats, who obviously came in that game tied with who they played, Murfreesboro Central. They were both 7-2 overall record in the district. Whoever won that game got a bye, and the Lady Cats dropped. But hey, the good news is, the bad news is they didn't get the bye. They're the 3rd seed. But the good news is they're playing a team that is young, and they got some talent. But Giles County is just one of those teams that if you're in Lawrence County, you feel pretty good going in that one.
And haven't talked to Wendy, but I don't know that you're not 100% fine playing that to stay in rhythm. Not having such time off and just guaranteed that semifinal game.
Because I believe they're going to play on Monday. Is that correct, Kevin? Yep, they'll be playing Monday, so they got an extra game.
So listen, Central Magnet, that's one of Summertown's 5 losses. We went up there to play. That's a tough gym to play in. And then I think it was the next week or maybe 2 weeks that Lawrence County beat Central Magnet home. I said, that's a big win. But now last night it just looked like nothing could go right. What I was able to keep up with, and they are a good team. Central Magnet is a very good team. Now the boys' side, Summertown I think came from 22 down to beat Central Magnet. And I would say that if we had to play them again, it might be reversed. Central Magnet's got an athlete. They're tough to play in that gym. They've got a point guard that's quick as a hiccup.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That he can get anywhere he wants to go, and that may be the really only thing I've saw that could probably give Lawrence County some troubles district-wise is maybe a very fast point guard.
Yep.
But you know, Lawrence County, they'll get it right. They'll right the ship.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll be ready to go.
Yeah, and
district
especially
tournament. You know, that was a big. You know, after losing to Marshall County and then getting that win the other night against them.
Felt good.
And you know, they've split with Central Magnet,
Yep.
so they know they can beat everybody.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
The
Well, I mean, when they beat Marshall County the other night, they locked up the 1 seed. So I know they'll have a bye. They're going to be the 1 seed in district. I'm not sure seeding wise. I think they'll looks like they'll be playing the winner of Marshall County and Giles County,
Right.
because there was 4 teams in Lawrence County's district that all went 5-5
Right.
in district, with Murfreesboro Central, Franklin County, Marshall County, and Tullahoma all going
Right.
5-5. So
Lawrence County was 8-2.
yeah,
Correct?
8-2. Yep. So they were the 1 seed. I don't know. They got Franklin County ranked at 2. I don't know what the scenario is. I don't know if that's the final scenarios of who's ranked where. But we'll just have to say. But obviously, Giles County is the 6th seed. By what Coach T says, where I get my sources from, it says that Marshall County is the 3 seed. So I'm assuming they'll play the winner of those 2 teams.
Yeah. How many teams are in that?
6.
6.
Yeah. So
So it'll be 3 and 6 and 4 and 5
4
playing
and 5.
each other.
Yep.
I think 1 seed will play the 4 and 5 winner.
Yeah. So then it would
And the
be Tullahoma.
2
and-
seed will play the 3 and 6
Yeah.
winner, because it should be that's the way it'll work. Lawrence
Yeah.
County will get the winner of the 4 and 5 game.
Yeah, and I wish with those scenarios, kind of like with 6 teams, I wish they'd do it like the NFL way. I've talked to Michael, I've talked to AJ and Dusty about it too. How like if a 6 seed team beats a 3 seed team, I think they need to reseed them, and where the 6 seed plays the 1, even
Yeah.
if they're on the other side.
Yeah,
of the bracket.
if the 5 and 6 both win, flip flop it.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel.
That is.
Yeah, so
Of course, I don't think Lawrence County boys are worried about playing.
No, I don't think-
4, 5, or 6 seed.
no, they're not worried about playing. I mean, they're not worried about playing anybody really. They're going to go in and play
Right.
Lawrence County's way of playing. Obviously, the shots were falling. They just the defense was still there. It just Murfreesboro Central seemed like they had more of an edge and a chip on their shoulder.
And again, it's a tough place to go play at. It's an old gym, and you go in there and you got to drive all the way to Murfreesboro to do it. You got to go pretty much down Broad to get there. So you might take you an hour and a half to get to Murfreesboro, and it might take you 45 minutes to get from 24 to the gym.
Yep.
And it's a tough road trip to make on a Thursday night.
Absolutely. So, well, that's going to do it for our opening segment for local sports. We're going to jump into basketball, as we're going to talk a little bit of college hoops with Tennessee Vols, and also trade deadlines going on in the NBA, who got better and who got worse. That's coming up next here on the Hayden Burks Show.
Whether you're shopping in Lawrenceburg, Loretto, Summertown, or Mount Pleasant, Tegan's Food Stores has you covered with the best quality food at the best prices. From Cash Saver to Superama and CB Foods, stop by your neighborhood Tegan's Food Store today.
If you want the best clean and wash experience, you need to catch the happy wave at Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Don't settle for streaks, dirt residue, water spots, and weak vacuums that you can get at just any car wash. At all our locations, you will be greeted by a smiling attendant who will pre-wash your car front and back to remove any stubborn bugs and dirt before guiding you through the tunnel, where your car will be treated to the ultimate spa treatment with state-of-the-art equipment and one-of-a-kind wash experience that will give your car a showroom shine. Afterwards, you can help yourself to our free powerful vacuums, cleaning cloths, and glass and surface cleaner for the perfect finishing touch. When it comes to caring for your car, don't settle for any wash and pay for all the extras. Get the best when you catch the happy wave at your local Tidal Wave Auto Spa.
The Summit of Lawrenceburg is the premier senior and assisted living community in the region. The Summit makes it home for you or your loved one with diverse suites that welcome and encourage community, plus gathering spaces, neighborhoods, daily activities, and a wonderful staff that supports you every day.
Hi, I'm Tara Blue. I'm the new director of the Summit, and we would like to invite you and your family to come and tour our facility. We would love to see you here.
For the best at-home care in Lawrence County, the Summit at Home is the right company for you. We have a friendly staff over 25 that is trained, educated, and qualified to help with all your needs within your household. Our non-medical services include transportation, housework, dressing, and companionship. We are also covered by most long-term care providers. For more information, please call 931-762-2310.
The Hidden Garden, located just off the square in downtown Lawrenceburg, is your hometown oasis for massage, aesthetics, full hair and nail services, and body waxing. Gift certificates are available, and be sure to follow them on Facebook for their specials. The Hidden Garden, your peace, your place. 222 Pulaski Street, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, or phone 931-762-9799.
Hayden Burks goes the distance for local sports on the X Sports Network.
And back here on the Hayden Burks Show as we're back here on the X Sports Network. Clint, it's time to talk some basketball now, as obviously Wednesday night the Vols defeated the LSU Tigers 88-68, and they will be taking on Texas A&M on Saturday. Just obviously they fell from number 5 to number 6, but hey, still, I mean, we all kind of know Tennessee. They'll be there at the end when it comes to SEC championship.
And that was a big win coming off a big win at Rupp.
Mm-hmm.
We got 4 kids on that starting 5 at Tennessee that
Scovey, Connect, all those guys.
When you got a point guard that's got a motor that doesn't quit.
Yeah,
reminds me of Carly Campbell.
Yeah,
and SEC tournament could be a lot of fun.
It absolutely can, especially with all the good. I mean, there's a bunch of good teams. Kentucky, they're young, but they're no joke.
No.
LSU's way better. South Carolina, that I've never seen South Carolina play the way they've been playing. Texas A&M, good team. There's a bunch of teams. Alabama's still there. I mean, there's a bunch of good teams.
Alabama, I think, could beat anybody.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, I think, is one of those teams that could beat anybody.
Auburn still is out there. So, I mean, there's all the SEC teams. I don't see why they can't make a push now. Vanderbilt, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But we'll keep it at that. But, I mean, with just Tennessee, we'll talk about that game with LSU. Obviously, they were, to the point. They got in there, take a 20-point win. Obviously, Dalton Connect doing his thing. The defensive side, though, I've never seen, in my opinion, that's the best defense in all of college basketball.
It is. Even Connect, who's your best player that you've got to count on to get you 20 to 30 a game, he's doing it on both ends.
He is.
And you don't see that a lot out of the best player.
Yeah,
you usually let everybody else do the work. And I'm not saying he is our best defensive player, but he's one of them.
Oh, yeah, he's one of them for sure. I mean, he's he's only, 6'6", 6'7", but he looks like a giant out there compared to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he's humongous compared to everybody else out there. And then you got the big guy down low who's 6'11", 7 foot tall and blocking every shot possible.
He's just a physical specimen. He reminds me of Ben Luna.
Oh, my goodness. He's going to go back and watch this now. He's out there probably watching this or something. But, nah, I mean, just overall that team, they're a really good, fundamentally sound team. And with Texas A&M is no joke either. Obviously, they made a run. They were in the SEC championship a few years ago. I mean, and they got the same guys that they had then. So they're a whole lot more experienced than they were then. They're still a very dangerous team. In my opinion, they're probably a top 5.
Oh, yeah.
Or, excuse me, top 5 of the SEC, top 25 in the nation, in my opinion.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, so obviously that's going to be fun. They'll be playing Texas A&M on Saturday. Can't wait for that one then. Obviously, probably not one of our favorite sports. Basketball is my favorite sport in general, but when it comes to NBA, we all have our opinions on if it's rigged overall, but hey.
Hey, now I'm probably not going to be able to help you much on this because I haven't, ever since that whatever tournament they put on, I may have watched
the play. I haven't watched any basketball.
3 to 4 games, and that's just enough just to say, do I know any of these players?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, well, then we'll flip to this. I mean, with the teams, how you see them now with obviously the Lakers struggling, Milwaukee, Embiid being out for the Sixers. I mean, who do you think? Who do you think's the front runner right now when it comes to the NBA?
I don't know. I still kind of like Miami. I like I like the Celtics, but I'm about to jump off their bandwagon because it seems like all the good teams they play, they lose close games. They're going to figure out how to win close games.
Yeah.
And I'm basically getting all my information off Charles Barkley, because even though I may not watch a lick of NBA basketball, that's still my favorite show. Inside
Yep, Inside the NBA.
But I'll touch on something he was talking about that this just makes me not a fan of the NBA anymore, is this 65-game rule.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got people, you had people here. Now he did play, but you have people here that spend a lot of money going to Memphis to watch the Warriors.
Yeah.
What if Steph decides, hey, I've got some games to take off. I'm not going to Memphis.
Yeah.
You have people spending hard-earned money for that.
Yeah.
If Michael Jordan, who in my opinion, is the greatest player of all time, if John Stockton, who's probably the biggest workhorse point guard, least talented point guard with the biggest stats, can play 83 games 9 and 10 times in their career,
yep.
You can handle 75.
You can handle that.
You can handle 70.
Of course, I look at it from the standpoint of the organization side. Like, when it comes to spending money on you, you're expected to show up to work for practice, media, whatever. On the flip side of that, though, when it comes to awards, all NBA, you get bonus incentives. I look at that. You're basically, Embiid. I mean, I understand if you're injured, that's a totally different thing. But if you're just sitting out and you don't get all those games in, you're actually losing money.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with all NBA, MVP. Obviously, we've seen people in the past where, like John Morant, even if he was to play all those games with his suspension, he was losing money because of that, because the incentives of, getting an all NBA team, you get that extra $10 million bonus or whatever it is. I mean, it's just, the money situation is unreal in my opinion when it comes to basically people are spending money to watch you play. They can't watch you play. I mean, I've heard of a guy that was one of my buddies. He spent maybe $500 just to go see LeBron play, and he was sitting out one time. So, I mean, it's hard, but I mean, I agree with you. It's one of those rules where I don't agree with the players sitting out.
And you'll never get me to be convinced that it's okay for a player to set out to not get hurt.
Yes. No, yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not setting out because they are injured. They're setting out so they don't get
injured, yeah.
And I'll never agree with that philosophy.
No, never at all. Like, I mean, there's been rumors about it. There are definitely guys that in the past have just been sitting out just because they want to rest. I mean, that's how it is with those guys. I mean,
you may have heard, I know I said it on one of our Exports Live shows, but the reason Popovich is one of my favorite coaches, used to have to send in all these waivers on why a certain player wasn't playing, and they're toward the end of Tim Duncan's career, and they were making that run to win that last championship. He sent in, and they said, well, we need a reason why, or a sickness, or is he sick, is he injured, and Pops just wrote, old.
Old. I mean, I look at that like the guys are older. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan. I really won't ever will be, but for him at his age, at 39 years old, to do that.
Listen, I'll never say he's the greatest ever played, but he's got the greatest, longest tenure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. To be able
to do it at the level he's done for as long as he's done,
and still average 25 points a game at 39 years old. I want to figure out like how much money he's spending on his body just to keep him in that.
You got another topic before we go to commercial?
Well, not before. That was just the last.
Listen, I'm going to get out of here on this one and leave the last one with you.
All right.
Because I've got to get back to work. But I do want to, I'm sure I didn't thank everybody enough, but our broadcast last night, I got honored at halftime of the girls' game with a plaque, and for 10 years of it, that's started in 2014 with my oldest daughter. Now it's finishing up with my youngest daughter, and the folks at Summertown. It was pretty fun last night. I think at one point we had 5 broadcasters on our call. We had 4 headsets, and we had a lot of people talking, and they were honoring me, but then it turned into a roast on top of that. So then they started talking about all the bad and the embarrassing moments of my calls through the years, and the picture that's out there on the wall. It got showed on the screen probably more than I would like to, but again, thank you all for that. It was totally unexpected. It was totally unnecessary, but I promise you I won't ever underappreciate it. Yep. It means a lot.
Yep, absolutely. So we appreciate you, Clinton. We'll let you get off to work, and we'll go to commercial off that.
Thanks, sir.
So, coming up next here on the Hayden Burks Show, we're going to be talking now about what's going to be coming up on Sunday. Kansas City Chiefs versus the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
And Dusty, I am taking the Chiefs if you're going to add that 20 you own to me.
Another 20?
Yeah, he already owes me 20 from
Double
taking
or
the Chiefs.
nothing.
I'll go double
Double
or
or
nothing if
nothing.
you want San Francisco. Somebody make sure Dusty
Are
knows that.
you a Chiefs fan or a Swiftie fan? Which one?
I'm not either.
Either.
I'm
You're
not
just
either.
you're just.
I like the. Listen, I think San Francisco's a better team, but I'm taking the experience.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going with
I
the
could see that.
experience.
I could see how people. I'm going to take the 49ers. I'll go ahead and give you.
And I do. I think they're the better team, but I'm going to let Dusty have a chance
Experience.
to get his money back.
Yep. So that will be coming up next here on the Hayden Burks Show.
Tennessee Flight Training. We are training the next generation of pilots. Come and see why Tennessee Flight Training is the best way to learn to fly. Tennessee Flight Training. The skies are calling.
If there ever was such a thing as a company that could do almost anything, well, Tennecky Properties is it. These guys know how to completely transform your existing home into something new, or just do it room by room. Need a new bathroom or kitchen? What about a fresh coat of paint? Even a new floor? Looking for dirt work? Tennecky has you covered. Oh, and you can even rent a dumpster from them too. That's Tennecky Properties. Visit Tennecky.com or phone 931-244-4602.
Hi, my name is Asha. I go to Lawrenceburg Technical College, and I moved here a year ago from California. I wanted to be a cosmetologist and study hair, nails, and makeup. You should come join us at Lawrenceburg Technical College and learn all about cosmetology.
Swap and Shop Center in Lawrenceburg is your go-to stop to complete your home, business, a combination of both, or really anything you can think of. With one of the region's biggest selection of bedroom furniture, name brand mattresses, recliners, living room and dining room suites, accents for the home or office, quality name brand appliances, and did I mention Swap and Shop services what they sell? This is family owned and operated business at its best. And the best part is, they'll treat you like family too.
We got bedroom suites, mattresses, dining room suites, appliances, outdoor equipment, mowers, and more. See us at the Swap and Shop Center in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Southern Tennessee Orthopedics welcomes orthopedic surgeon Dr. Paul Thomas. Count on Dr. Paul Thomas, podiatrist Dr. James Barksdale, and nurse practitioner Doug Ead at Southern Tennessee Orthopedics to keep your life in motion. Injuries and foot pain can rob you of the activities you enjoy most. So our team is here, close to home, to address the pain and to get you moving again. Southern Tennessee Orthopedics. From the routine to the unforeseen, you can count on us. To learn more, visit SouthernTennesseeMedicalGroup.com or to schedule an appointment, call 931-762-4400.
Story and Lee, the Tennessee Valley's most dynamic furniture store, featuring our Made in America galleries with solid wood dining and bedrooms, leather furniture, mattresses, and so much more. You want it? We've got it. With our 3 acres of showroom and our huge warehouse, we're sure to have exactly what you want. And it's all ready to be delivered to your home absolutely free. Just try that anywhere else. We are Story and Lee.
Hayden Burks goes the distance for local sports on the X Sports Network.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Hayden Burks Show. As we are now here to talk about the Super Bowl, and we're going to have our picks coming up. And obviously, with the Super Bowl and just everything going on with it, will be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams are looking to extend, and Patrick Mahomes is looking to win his 3rd Super Bowl. Brock Purdy looking to win his 1st, and obviously it's a big-time storyline up when it comes to that because, you know, obviously everybody knows Patrick Mahomes, the man, the myth, the legend, as some would call him. You got the world versus the Chiefs, it sounds like, with all the Swiftie fans. This might become a rant segment now, Kevin. We won't get into that, but you know, it's different this year because it's going to be. And this is what I'm looking over here like somebody's right here, AJ and Dusty. Lord, Kevin. I'm thinking this is the X Sports Live show now at this point. But, you know, I've talked to several of my buddies, AJ, Dusty, Clint. We've all talked about the Super Bowl. And obviously we brought it up on Wednesday as well that when it comes to people saying that they're not going to watch the Super Bowl, that is false because the Super Bowl numbers are more than likely going to be through the roof with halftime performances, commercials being played. I'm definitely going to be watching it. With a lot of people wanting to see Taylor Swift, that's obviously going to boost the fact of watching that, but we'll flip over to the football side because Kansas City Chiefs obviously looking to go back-to-back, beat Philadelphia last year. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes looking to get their third ring overall. Andy Reid, third ring with the Kansas City Chiefs. And like Clint said earlier, the experience is very, very crucial when it comes to those moments because obviously the 49ers, they were in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, the Super Bowl before COVID, pre-COVID, I believe that was 2020, whenever those two teams faced off in the Super Bowl. But it's a different monster this time when it comes to San Francisco because they've got Brock Purdy now, which back then they had Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo got hurt, moved on. He's in Oakland. I don't even know if he's still in Oakland or not. But with that being said, Brock Purdy, I give the man props because overall in the past with, they started with Trey Lance last year. He goes down. Then they put in Garoppolo. He goes down. Then all of a sudden they put in Brock Purdy, and this kid is special. And so to me, I think that's the difference maker. They've got somebody in there who's doesn't fold to pressure. Brock Purdy, yes, I agree with people in the past that say he's not elite. You're right, he is not. He is a great quarterback. Is he at that elite level yet? No, we'll have to see when he wins MVPs and Super Bowls in the past. But overall, with Brock Purdy, he's special, and I think he's the difference maker when it comes to that game. And obviously, him and George Kittle, it was what Dusty said Wednesday night with George Kittle, as if they start hitting him early in the ball game, you're more than likely going to have a long game for your Kansas City. Kansas City overall, they've got a really good defense. They got a good front line. The offensive line, not that great. That's why I think the defensive line with Bosa and Chase Young, I think they're really going to get to Mahomes a whole lot easier than the Kansas City line getting to Brock Purdy. I think Mahomes can extend plays. He can run out of the pocket. He can make passes out of the pocket. But the thing is with Brock Purdy, though, he's more of a pocket passer, but he can still beat you and he can use his legs. And obviously, if you were watching the San Francisco versus the Lions game, which I was, I thought the Lions had it, but in that second half, like AJ has said on the show in the past and what he said on Wednesday night, once San Francisco, once they figure you out, you're done. So that's one thing they're going to have to figure out for Kansas City. Obviously, they got to, in my opinion, Kansas City needs to establish dominance a whole lot faster than the 49ers, because if you look at it, you can't give once the 49ers figure you out, you can't give them enough time to score enough points. Obviously, the Lions had not a big enough lead, where in the second half, San Francisco, they started figuring it out. And as the rain is now hitting the ceiling of the roof, you can hear it outside probably. But overall, I got sidetracked. Overall, though, I think it'll be a great game. Obviously, it's going to be in Las Vegas. Everybody, ESPN, all kinds of people, Las Vegas, both fan bases are going to travel to Las Vegas just for that experience. The numbers will be there. I'll second what we were talking about Wednesday. Whoever said that nobody's watching the Super Bowl, that's a lie. You're gonna watch the Super Bowl. So obviously, that's gonna be something. It's gonna be special. It's gonna be another good Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes looking to extend his legacy. Already one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Might eventually go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. We'll just have to see where down the line how he manages with maybe a new tight end. Obviously Travis Kelce, he's not old, but he's getting up there in age. We'll have to see with the new head coach, possibly Andy Reid. He might move on, retire, not after this season, but just overall, down the road. We'll just have to see really how good Patrick Mahomes is. Can he adapt to a new head coach? Can he adapt to new players? Obviously hadn't affected him with Tyreek Hill going to Miami. I mean, they won a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill that year. So, I mean, I think the experience is going to do something. But then again, I think the 49ers overall will take this one. I'm going to say it's going to be a 3-point game. I'm going to say 27-24, 49ers is the final score. I think with Patrick Mahomes, obviously, I said earlier, you got to establish dominance early. You got to score enough points before San Francisco figures you out. If you're going to do that, if they get up 17-0 at half, okay, that's fine, but you're going to have to keep going at them if you're Kansas City. Obviously, Kansas City has the motor and the capability to do that, and overall, I mean, that's just one of those things where it's kind of like LeBron mode in the playoffs with Kansas City. Obviously, in the regular season, we're thinking, oh, well, Kansas City, we don't have to worry about them. Obviously, they're still going to be a good team, and they'll eventually fall off. Well, that's not the case when it comes to postseason, because Kansas City, they've got so much experience. They beat Buffalo 4 years straight in the divisional round. They've won the AFC Championship 3 years in a row now. I mean, they have been the team of the decade, more than likely, when it comes to overall talent. And I mean, with Patrick Mahomes, he's been the quarterback he's been the best quarterback in the last five years. And obviously, with his rookie year, being the backup and then coming in with Alex Smith moving on, they put Patrick Mahomes in there. I mean, it was totally better when Patrick Mahomes came in. And then flipping over, though, we go back to Brock Purdy, last pick in the draft, Iowa State. We knew the talent was there, but we didn't expect him to step up like he did. This is a guy that is on six-figure payroll. He's not even making $1 million. He's having to live with a roommate. And whatever the case is, his contract's coming up. Whether he wins you the Super Bowl, if they don't win the Super Bowl, pay him either way. Pay him more if they win the Super Bowl, because he is absolutely worth it. He's got the chance to make it's going to be a scenario where it's going to be like Peyton versus Tom Brady, or Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady, or Aaron Rodgers versus Peyton Manning type of scenario when it goes to great quarterbacks going head-to-head. I think Brock Purdy staying healthy with the team he has and Patrick Mahomes, his greatness overall, I think they will be seeing each other more than once when it comes down the line, when it comes to Super Bowl, regular season. If they move on from either one of their teams, we'll have to see history about that. But those two guys, they'll be in the league for quite a long time, so don't worry about that. So we're going to flip over to our pick side now. Is obviously Sam, he's in school. Michael, he's driving back from Knoxville. He'll be calling the Loretta game, so he's unable to join us with him driving in the rain. Obviously, I've been texting him. I wish he could be here. Michael, stay safe. Obviously, wants you to get home safe and can't wait to see you tomorrow. And I'm sure the Loretta fans will be glad to hear your voice instead of mine. So we'll jump now to the pick'em side. As obviously, it's going to be Super Bowl 58, Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers at Las Vegas, Nevada, February 11, 2024. As taking a look at our records going into the final game of the season of the Super Bowl right now, I was 8-4 in the playoffs. Michael was 10-2. Sam was 7-5 overall. So, Michael, congratulations. It doesn't matter what happens, who we pick or what we pick. You've obviously outsmarted all of us, especially Sam. Sam, he had a rough divisional round. Kevin, he's shaking his head. He went 1-3 that round. But overall, I've enjoyed doing this with the picks. I'm going to miss it. We'll have to jump in the NBA, though, so I'll have to definitely look into that more. NCAA with the tournaments, we'll have to probably do something with that. I'm sure AJ will do something. So we'll have to figure that out. But obviously, it's going to be the number 3 seed in the AFC champions, Kansas City Chiefs versus number 1 seed NFC champions, San Francisco 49ers. I texted both Michael and Sam. Sam, what are you doing, buddy? You Swiftie? Sam's a Swiftie fan, Kevin. Sam, yeah, he's a Swiftie fan now. That's what I'm going to call him. Next time I see, it's no longer Crash, it's Swiftie. Sam Swiftie. I think I like that, Sam Swiftie. But Sam, he took the Kansas City Chiefs. Michael, Obviously, he's 10-2. He'll be the winner regardless. He took the 49ers. I'm going to take the 49ers as well. So we'll have to see. I'll be watching it with my buddies back over in UT Southern. As also shout out to UT Southern boys for picking up a big win against Faulkner last night. We improved to 22-2 overall, 16-0 in the conference. So got a big day tomorrow, obviously for me and several of our guys. 11 of us in total seniors. I'm going to be playing Point University at home. Special day for everybody. Last home game of the season, and obviously with the team we got, it's going to be a special day. So that'll do it for our football segment. Kind of just a shout out for UT Southern. As coming up next, we'll be doing our sports Q&A, our final segment of the Hayden Burks Show. That's coming up here next, here on the X Sports Network.
Southern Craft Manufacturing is dedicated to creating the finest quality and greatest value products in the death care industry. Southern Craft has perfected blending old world craftsmanship with modern manufacturing technologies to create a full line of steel, wood, and corrugated caskets. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, Southern Craft is now looking to hire local and regional truck drivers, welders, and production workers, each with great starting pay and a benefits package. For more information, visit southerncraftmfg.com.
Are you tired of missing out on family life just to be treated like another truck number? Since 1986, Southeast Cares has been a family-operated business based in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Being family-owned ourselves, we understand the importance of family, which is why we value it above all else. With our large number of dedicated lanes and our friendly staff, we are able to evenly divide your home time with the amount of time you spend on the road. We offer multiple benefits with large company pay, all while keeping a small company environment. For more information, visit our website at southeastcarriers.com or check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
At Smith Tax and Business Service, we offer many services. Along with personal income tax prep, we also offer tax preparation for corporations and partnerships. If you're a small business and looking for some extra help, give us a shout and we'll get you fixed up. Call Mary Beth Smith, Marion Matthews, Brooklyn Bates, or Michelle Staggs to find out how we can help you. Located at 208 Pulaski Street, phone 931-244-6633.
Head on over to Shaw Southeast Distributing in Lawrenceburg to find everything you need for your home, business, or fundraiser. To make life easier, Shaw Southeast Distributing now accepts EBT cards. Have a concession stand, food truck, or just your kitchen at home? Leave it to Shaw to fill your shelves with ease. Shaw Southeast Distributing delivers. Family owned and operated. Phone 931-762-7760. Follow us on Facebook or visit us at 1603 Ripke Avenue in Lawrenceburg.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back to the Hayden Burks Show here on the X Sports Network. As we are back for our final segment of the day, it's our sports Q&A, and our first question will be NBA trade deadline moves. As obviously the NBA trade deadline was yesterday. Bunch of trades went on. Obviously, teams were looking to sell and to move on from certain players, get away from contracts. Overall, move on from those players, get them in a better situation. Other teams, obviously, that are going to look to contend now. When you got that 4 or 5 seed in the conference, you got that 6 seed there trying to improve, make that run, get a better squad. And obviously, in my opinion, the teams who won in the trade deadline were the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. That's the New York Knicks. Man, have they been hot. They are my favorite team in the Eastern Conference when it comes to, well, Golden State's my overall favorite team in general, but we're not even going to talk about them right now. I just can't talk about them, how bad they are. But, when it comes to New York, they've had a lot of issues in the past. They're kind of like the Cowboys, obviously. It's been a long time since they've made it to a NBA championship. Got a unbelievable support fan base. They got fans that, you know, they pack that gym out, or excuse me, not that gym, the stadium arena at Madison Square Garden. It is a special place. That's one of those places I want to go to eventually. But they've got a MVP candidate, in my opinion, in Jalen Brunson, and they've got OG Anunoby, who they picked up from Toronto. That was a huge pickup for them. They got other great players on their side. They got Julius Randle, who's playing like an all-star. Obviously, he's been an all-star several times before in the past, but he looks a whole lot better than he has in the past when it comes to playoffs. Stephen A. Smith, if you watch First Take on ESPN every morning, he's a huge New York Knicks fan. He always shows tapes of Julius Randle, and it's everything going left. Everything going left. Let's shoot threes. Julius Randle is a big guy. He can bully whoever he wants to down low, in my opinion, if he has that aggression to him. And we'll just have to see come playoff time what New York looks like. But, I mean, in my opinion, it's going to be them and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, in my opinion. Obviously, the Celtics, they made a move. They got Xavier Tillman from the Memphis Grizzlies. Helps them out when it comes to depth-wise, when it comes to big man depth. You got Porzingis, obviously. He's been in and out of the rotation a little bit. He's been more consistent when it comes to that in the past. He's had injuries when he was younger, but he's definitely more consistent when it comes to that overall. So, you know, that's one thing when it comes to the trade deadlines. It's fun to see who buys in and who sells out. And when it comes to that overall, that's a fun time of the year. Basically, you get to see moves where, you know, how's it going to work out? Okay, obviously this team, they're looking to tank. They're looking to move on from this player. Look towards the future, draft picks, get off of contracts. That way you get more money for somebody else you want to pay on your team. You want to give them a salary boost, another contract based off that. Or you want to go, you know, trade where you can, a team that's like, okay, like New York, say, New York Knicks, they want to get better. Obviously, they were the 4th, 5th seed in the Eastern Conference Finals, or not the Eastern Conference Finals, but the Eastern Conference right now. And, I mean, they want to make a run. They've got an MVP candidate, like I said, Jalen Brunson, and picking up Anunoby, several other guys like, what's his name? Bojan Bogdanovic from Detroit. And then, you know, just other overall players. They got, you know, a good bench in Josh Hart coming off the bench. They got a great player in Dante DiVincenzo, who came from Golden State. I wish they would have kept him. But, I mean, New York, they like them Villanova boys. Obviously, Josh Hart came from Villanova. Brunson, DiVincenzo were all Villanova guys. So they've got something special going on in New York, and I really want to see them in the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, because I think that'd be a fun matchup. But taking a look at other teams that didn't make any moves when it comes to the Warriors, obviously with Golden State, they're struggling. Their team is definitely past their prime. Steph, he's still playing at an unbelievable level, but the fall off with Klay Thompson is just not there. And the question has been asked, do they move on from the Splash Brothers of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson? And I will be the first to tell you, if I was running the organization, I would. That's just me personally. You know, you got to look towards the future at this point. Could they make a push? Possibly. They got the experience. If they make the playoffs, they're a hard team to beat when it comes to the playoffs. Obviously, they got all the experience in the world when it comes to them versus anybody. I'm taking Golden State when it comes to younger. I said that with Sacramento when they played Sacramento last year in the first round. I was stating that, oh, well, everybody was saying, we're going to see Sacramento in 6. No, that ain't the case. It's going to be a 7-game series. I don't care how poorly Golden State is playing. They know how to play in playoff environments. So it's questionable why they didn't make any moves. Obviously, Kuminga, big-time player. I'm surprised they didn't move on from Kevon Looney. He's been kind of in and out of the rotation. They got a good young squad, but you know, when you're the 12th seed and you're fighting to even get in the play-in, you got to make moves. And obviously, the only move they made was trading Corey Joseph for a second-round pick and cash, which does nothing for you at all. So I don't know what to say about that. But those are my opinions for the trade deadline and overall just how the NBA it's been more exciting. I love scenarios. I love when moves get made. How's this going to work? How's that going to work? How will this player affect the team? Will it improve their team? Will it tarnish their locker room? How will, moving on from this coach, bringing in this other coach, how's the team going to respond to that? Oh, how is Patrick Beverly, who also got traded from Philadelphia to the Bucks, by the way, I think is a great pickup. Obviously, you lose Drew Holiday, you trade him away for Damian Lillard, and then you lose Drew Holiday, which was a defensive pest on the defensive side, and bringing in another guy who is not Patrick Beverly. If you don't know, look him up. He is one of my favorite players in the NBA because he is one of those guys where you love to have him on your team, but you hate to play against him. And that's one thing and he's one of those guys that got a chip on his shoulder. And I think Patrick Beverly, he's a perfect example of a workhorse. Obviously, he's going to play the role he has to see his team succeed. He did it with the Lakers when he was there, got traded, Philadelphia, Minnesota. I think he'll be perfect for Milwaukee. Where he'll fit in, I don't know. With Doc Rivers being the new head coach, I don't know the scenario with that. I really don't trust Milwaukee. Giannis has really just been, I don't know where Giannis's head is right now. He's more of an issue, in my opinion, than he is a basketball player right now. He's bringing up his opinions, where the team is, where the coach is, but he just play basketball. Don't worry about it. That's the coach's job. I know he's getting the LeBron persona where whatever I say goes. So, and I'm not a fan of that. So I'll leave that at that. So that'll do it here on the Hayden Burks Show. Is obviously me solo. I was telling Kevin it's kind of hard doing it solo, but hey, you got to work with what you work with. So that'll be it here on the Hayden Burks Show. My name's Hayden Burks. Michael Marks couldn't join us today. Michael, I hope you're watching. If I see anything bad about your Celtics, I do apologize. Clint Brazier, appreciate him coming in. And then producer extraordinaire, Kevin Wright. Well, that will be it here on the Hayden Burks Show on the X Sports Network. We'll see you next week.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.